We've made it through the week's worth of workouts. Now we're going to focus on the recovery aspect. I recommend that on a Saturday or a Sunday, you set aside about 15-20 minutes for a nice thorough stretch. We're going to walk you through each one of the stretches, show you how it's performed, and talk a little bit about the benefits that you can get from each one. We're going to work our way from the head down to the toes. We'll start with a neck stretch. You're going to put your hand here at the top, near the crown of your head, and you're simply going to pull over to the side. You're going to feel it stretching right here. You're going to be taking some deep, relaxed breaths through the mouth, trying to let the air go through the diaphragm into the stomach. Fill your belly up with air as opposed to your chest. You'll hold that for about 15 seconds, that side. You'll bring it up, over to the other side. On each exhale, you're trying to deepen the stretch. Pull the neck just a little bit further. Make sure you work your way into each stretch slowly. You don't want to pull a muscle by pulling too tight. Then you're going to go back to the other side after 15 seconds. Hold it for 15 seconds more. And then rotate back one more time. For the final 15, the opposite direction. Once you've finished up with that, you're going to go through the lean and hang, which is the same as what we did in our bioenergizer. This is going to stretch the back of the neck and the upper spine. Knees bent. Notice how my head is dangling at the bottom of the stretch. I'm not stretching my hamstrings. I'm simply trying to let the base of my neck fully extend as far as possible. My arms are dangling, and each deep breath, I'm going to rise and fall. So you see on the exhale how my body drops. And you can perform that for about 8 to 10 deep breaths. You don't need to set a timer or anything. Just go for as long as you feel comfortable going with. Next, we'll go here to our shoulders. You're going to grab a towel. We'll start with the left arm. You're going to put your left arm over the back as if you're trying to scratch your back. I'll turn here so you can see. I'm going to grab the towel with my right hand, and I'm simply going to be pulling downward with my right arm, and I'm going to be feeling the stretch in my left arm, primarily in the tricep area and a little bit there in the back portion of your shoulder. A lot of people have one side that's particularly tight in the shoulders. Make sure that you hold that side, the tighter side, for a longer stretch. You can get this for about 25 to 30 seconds. Now, I hold the same position. Now instead of pulling down, I'm now going to be pulling upward with my left arm and stretching the right. So I'm pulling up with the towel, holding onto it with both hands, and now I'm stretching my right shoulder here. This is somewhat painful. Make sure you're focusing on breathing deep. Don't fight it. All right? Then you'll switch it up. Now the right hand goes over the top. I'm going to be pulling down with my left. Stretching the right tricep and shoulder. After holding this one for 30 seconds, or whatever feels good for you, if you have, like I said, if one side's tighter, hold that for a little bit of an extended period. Now I'm coming up. You might be able to tell on the video, my left side here is much looser than my right. So I would hold this for a shorter period and then move on to the next stretch. Next up, you can grab your broomstick at home. I'm going to use the PVC pipe that we used for our overhead squats. You're going to get a nice wide grip. And you're simply going to rotate back, keeping your arms fully extended. This is really going to open up your chest and stretch your outer pectorals. You also feel this some in your shoulders. Maybe feel this down in the biceps. Bring it down slowly. If you'd like to bring it down and then back up again, any stretch that feels good and you'd like to spend more time on, feel free to do so. All right, moving on. Next up, we'll go to the bow. Try to open up the lower portion of the pecs, the chest cavity. Fists at the base of the hips. Just like we did in the Bioenergizer. I'll turn sideways here so you can see. Feet planted. Gonna arch your back. Head up. Mouth open. Deep breaths. And just like the lean and hang, you can hold that for about 8 to 10 deep breaths. Next, we're going to move on to our biceps. Go ahead and find a wall. You're going to put your hand, fingers, and thumb down up against the wall, approximately shoulder level. My hand is flat up against the wall, and then I'm going to open up here in the chest and look away. And I'm going to feel this stretch right down my bicep and into my forearm as well. This is great for wrist flexibility. Again, deep breaths. This will be another one that might hurt you, so you want to really try to relax your body, let the stretch do its job. The more flexible you are, you might be able to open up even further and look further away to get a deeper stretch. Once you feel good there on the left arm, switch over to the right. Again, fingers down, palm flat, open up and look away. If you're not flexible enough to put your hand at shoulder level, you can lower it down, say to around that spot, and pull away. And gradually you can work your way up the wall higher and higher until you can get up to shoulder level. All right, let's move back to the floor for the next stretch. Go ahead and grab a chair at the end of the couch. We're going to continue working our way down our body. We're going to go now to our hip flexors and quads. I'm going to put my right foot up onto the chair, or here we're using our bench. And then I'm going to bring my knee down to the floor. My shin is close to perpendicular as far as in relationship to the ground. My left leg is going to go out in front at about 90 degrees. And then I'm going to rise up into a vertical position. And I'm going to try to rotate my hips down and forward. So you don't want to have your stomach, the upper portion of your hips, leaning out. All right, you want to have your hips coming underneath your body. And you're going to feel this in your quads here, front part of your hip flexor, and some down here in the side portion as well, but primarily the front and quads. This one will feel particularly good in this portion. It's very tight in a lot of people. So again, hold this for whatever time is comfortable to you. I like to hold it for about 45 seconds. Once you finish your time here, you're going to switch legs. Left leg will go up. Right leg out. Rotate those hips. Try to keep a good posture with your upper body. Don't lean forward or don't try to lean back. Body straight, shoulders up, head up, looking straight ahead. Just trying to relax your arms, let them dangle at your sides. Deep breaths. And the further you rotate those hips, the more intense the stretch will be. So you can control the intensity based on your movement. We're going to continue with the hips and the groin area. We're going to go to the deep knee bend, which is what we did during our bioenergizer. You're just going to get a nice low squat, and you're going to hold this position. Your feet can be flat if you have flexible ankles. If you don't have extremely flexible ankles, which I don't, I'm going to be up on my toes a little bit, down in this deep squat position. Arms are just relaxed. I can use them here as a little bit of balance if necessary. You'll feel this in your groin and the hip flexor. Even from this position, you want to maintain the same breathing patterns. Trying to fill your stomach, your belly up with air as opposed to your chest. I like to stand up at about midway through, shake my legs out a little bit, get back down again into the low squat, finish up the second half. Continuing with our hips, we'll move to 90-90. 90 degrees in the front leg, 90-degree angle on the back leg. I'm going to try to bring my head down to my left foot. As I bring it down, I'm going to feel this stretching right out here in the outer portion of my left hip flexor. You may notice on the video that with each breath, my head seems to be getting a little bit lower. Focusing on extending the stretch on each breath, not only is it going to help you become more flexible, but it's also going to help you focus on the deep breathing patterns that are going to be important for the proper relaxation. We've switched legs. Put the right leg in front, left leg behind. Head's going to go down to the foot. Switch it back. Now, on the lean back, it's almost like you're trying to bring your head back towards that foot. And similar to our stretch with the bench, you're trying to rotate those hips, especially the lower portion of the hips, forward and up, almost up towards the ceiling. Now on this backward stretch, I'm feeling it here, outer portion of my hip flexor, also a little bit here in the groin, some down my quad. If you experience a little bit of discomfort in your knees while doing the 90-90 stretch, that's relatively normal. The ligaments and tendons surrounding the knee may be tight. Just, again, focus on the deep breathing. Let those knees stretch out along with the hips. Moving on from the hips, we're going to go down to our lower hamstring and our calves. You notice we're not going to be stretching the upper portion of the hamstring. That is a traditionally loose muscle for a lot of people. That's already looser than it should be, so we don't want to overstretch that area. What we're going to focus on is the lower portion of the hamstring and our calves. So you're going to get down into a track runner's start position. We'll start on the left leg. Have my left leg forward, my right leg back. I'm going to go ahead and put my hands down on the floor. You notice how I have both knees bent. I'm going to try to take my left leg and simply extend it and try to straighten it as far up as I can go. If you can get your knee to be entirely straight, that's great. If not, go up as high as you can, and you're going to feel this stretching right here in the upper and mid part of your calf, and particularly there in the lower portion of the hamstring. Also, the more flexible you are, if you need to be up on your fingers, that will make it a little bit easier. If you can get down onto your palms, you may need to do that if you're already flexible in this area. Alright, we'll switch it over to the right leg. Again, right leg is down, left leg is back, hands on the floor, and I have both knees bent. I try to move to an extended position.